transmissions.
Thank today our awesome guest, Randy Wilson. He's a local photographer, but also a musician and vocalist of They Look Human. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me back.
We had a really great episode last time, aside from the fact that half of it got washed away with the power loss. But we're really glad to have you back on to talk about a bunch of craziness with us. It's been a while since we've had an episode, so we do want to touch base on that. It's kind of like a new season for us. We're just going to start this as a new season. We'll call this season 2. So your first episode, new season.
Awesome.
And we've taken a little bit of time to recalibrate. We've got some really awesome stuff coming forward for you. So thank you for helping us kick off our first episode of our new season. And we were just talking about the cold, brutal New England air, Bob.
And there's more coming, Bob.
There's more coming your way.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. You don't know pain.
Seriously, people love this part of the country one time a year.
Masochists.
Yeah, to live around here, you really kind of have to be. You just have this need for brutal, even like self-harm.
The same people that burn their nipples with lighters.
Yeah. Those
Just stay warm.
Yeah,
that's it, dude. That's it.
It's the adrenaline rush, man. Heat you right up.
It's great. It's awesome. Well, see, and I think that the only thing that people really can relate to the rest of the country is that type of cold. Is like, I experienced snow once. Like some people, or they like if they do experience snow regularly, but not like we do. Or, I mean, some parts of the country obviously they blow us away in snow totals, but the type of brutal cold that we deal with sometimes here, in the north, midwest. And you know what? To be fair to our friends in Canada, because we do have some Canadian listeners,
they get
it's
what we
much
do,
worse.
then some. Yeah,
we get their cold fronts that come from their part of.
they can keep the rest
deal
of
with
it
that
though.
all the time.
They can keep the rest though. I'm good with that.
Yeah. That's why I live here.
Like they're saying, it's going to snow tomorrow night into Thursday up north in the mountains, and you know what? They can have it.
I knew I wasn't just making small talk with my counselor earlier today. That's awesome. I was like, I'm pretty sure there is snow coming.
Yeah,
Somebody
like
said
Laconia
something.
North. I think not Laconia.
Oh, good.
Maybe
So
it was
not us.
maybe it was like Conway North.
Not us specifically.
No, not us. It's supposed to be rain down here, which I'm more than happy with.
Thank Christ.
They don't have to salt for the rain.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, it is just... I mean, if you remember, it was a year or so back, we got... What was it? October... No, it might
The
have
Halloween
been,
snow?
might have been, yeah.
The Halloween snow. I
Halloween
went to Salem
snow.
that year,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Down
yeah.
there was like nothing the next day, but up here we had a couple inches of snow.
It was nuts.
October 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was intense.
Unnecessary.
And then
Bald tire.
Thanksgiving,
Like,
a Thanksgiving snowstorm also.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was the one I think I was thinking of, but the it's funny. Halloween snow, 2 years later, Thanksgiving. It can wait till December. How about that? We'll take. So enough about the New England snow, Bob. We definitely have lots of stuff to go into today. Like I have some fucking bullet point, like a bulletin in front of me that we're checking off. I'm gonna go down the list today with our guest, and it's fucking pictures of dicks all over the paper. But no, seriously,
Whole podcast is going to hear.
I am blown away by the media thing, like the whole like media distortion thing. Like, I mean, obviously, this whole fucking political thing is a shit show. People are going crazy with fucking politics, but the media stuff is nuts. Like how disinformation is. I mean, we've talked about this a couple of times, just offhand, like how crazy politics has become, but how media disinformation is driving that craze.
It's insane.
behind
People
all of it.
eat it up. People take what they see in a Facebook post to heart.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the source. Maybe if you're that upset about it, Google it, find out if it's real. I mean, they said they started trying to crack down on all the fake ads and stuff, but I don't know, man.
It's really weird, like especially with what was his name there, Peter Thiel and Mark Zuckerberg. They got behind closed doors with the president and going into like they're like. What? Like that just makes me creep the fuck out, man. Like Mark Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel, like the lead like two like Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook.
Yeah.
He's like the CEO, the guy who created it. And then one of their major shareholders and owners, I think. I don't, I'm being fucking ignorant by not knowing all of it, but whatever. Fucking, you can only know so much shit, dude.
Yeah.
And that is just something I really don't care that much a fuck about. I do give a fuck about the fact that they're taking our data and selling it in major troves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! How about that 10-year challenge? How's that? How's that for your facial recognition?
Right.
I posted 2 pictures of my dog. This is my dog 6 years ago when I got him. This is him now.
Yeah.
Like,
I posted that. There's a meme with fucking Jim Halpert or whatever, and the FBI. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just get them to put their.
Yeah.
Just get them to do a 10-year challenge to get there. I'm just like, oh my God, that is so golden, because it's really people who are, just give them this wiretapping device in the form of a free convenience. We can't sell the fucking thing, so give it to them for free.
well, even like, and I'm not huge on like the conspiracy of everything, but like, I don't want an Alexa. How many times have they seen cases where those things like are recording?
Oh, if you're a
The-
New
the
Hampshire
workers are
resident,
listening.
They'll give you one for free in New Hampshire. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, it was some if you sign with some energy company or something.
All set. You can keep your fucking
Yeah.
wiretap.
No, I'm good. I know my phone's doing it, but it's my phone, so whatever. But I'm not going to get 3 or 4 other devices in the house that are listening to me
You
too.
don't want better quality spying.
Right? It's like
Now
I don't have
this-
anything to hide. I don't have anything to hide, but it still doesn't mean I want something listening to me 24/7. You know what I mean?
This is pure like.
You're gonna hear me talking to my dog all day.
Wait,
Probably lock me up. This
I
guy's,
would definitely be one.
this guy's fucked up.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though, and I mean, somebody's made a valid point. They're already doing it with our phones. They got our phones doing
yeah.
the same fucking thing. But it's like, but I don't want to just buy a device specifically for them to do it.
Right?
Like, it's just an extra one for them.
And now they have them for your car too. They
Just
have the,
add to it.
they have the mobile Alexa thing for your car. It's like, I'm good.
No, I'm good. You can keep your weird AI bettering software. That's the only reason that's the only reason they want to give it to people for free, is because they can get more and more people to help better their AI software.
Test subjects.
Yeah, like social, but we've already become willing test subjects in the aspect that we just put all of our information willingly online every time we. Can cats eat pancakes online? Like, and they're like, do cats want pancakes?
What kind of
no,
soft- what kind of
Google,
soft drink
can
am
they
I?
eat them? Dumb artificial intelligence, can't you figure it out?
Here's a new survey. What kind of potato am I? Yeah, I'll put all of my information in to find that out.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of potato?
People will spend 15 minutes trying to find out what kind of potato they are, or what kind of soft drink they are, but not like research something they read on Facebook before they repost it and get all pissed.
Yeah. It's funny because I can be guiltily one of those people in a lot of ways.
That's
And
like-
I'm the first person to give people shit about it online. And then I'm just like, do your fucking research. And then it's like, and then I'm just like,
I got a friend from high school. I got a message from him yesterday. It wasn't him. It was some bot thing. It was like, oh, one of those, I can't believe you're in this video things. I'm like, fucking really?
really? Yeah, no. Imagine, kid.
I'm always
As our
afraid
good friend would
when
say.
I swipe away from him, I'm going to accidentally push it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you didn't see me in the video. And if you did, awesome.
Scene. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck. He knows. He fucking knows. God damn you, Facebook.
Dude, I seen you in a video.
Now, like
I
if
used to
people-
be able to just walk away from your conversations. Now
Right?
I have. Now you know I fucking saw it.
Now you're there all the yeah, exactly. Seen at 1:15 p.m. Oh, great.
Oh. Like, what do you think of that, huh? What do you think he saw it?
Yeah.
He's ignoring you.
Right down,
Oh.
right down to fucking band dynamics when we were in a band. Fucking Justin, we know you saw that message at 1:15.
No, I didn't.
I
I'm
was.
at work looking at my phone like.
But think about it. How many times do you go through the phone and you swipe it and then it's like you look at something and you didn't really look at it. You just like glanced at it. You didn't fucking actually look. You didn't take the time to.
Oh, yeah,
because you're busy.
I'll look at that later. Oh,
Because you're a human fucking being.
yeah.
You look and laugh and go, "Oh my god, that's crazy." Then you just kind of put it in your pocket without liking it. Oh,
Yeah,
without a laughy face.
dude. So the next time you're trying to reach Justin, no, just kidding. Just kidding. I know.
Cold blood.
Do you know how many times I shamelessly don't answer your messages? No,
Dude,
not
I
yours
get it.
specifically, but just all of those people out there.
Nah,
I'm sorry. It's just like fucking. I can't.
I don't
want to.
want to be available 24/7. Like
wouldn't
I don't
want
have a
to.
Bluetooth headset for my phone. Like if I'm driving in the car and somebody calls, it's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm busy. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't reach me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Well, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm when
Message there.
I feel like I said I can't like carefully like I can't, but I can't want to is what I said, and it's what I've really meant. It's like I can't actually want to even want to care that much. It's unhealthy human like socially.
Yeah.
You know, to care that much about how many people liked your fucking cats eat pancakes meme. Or whatever it is.
all right.
You know?
I do
Yeah.
that with my photo. Like sometimes when I post a photo, I'll look. I'm like, oh, sweet. Well, how many people loved it? How many people liked it? You know.
Yeah.
It's like, well, because that for me, that's like, okay, well, maybe I'll get this printed out large scale, and I'll try to sell it,
right,
Or maybe
right.
I can hang this when I'm showing my stuff, but still, it's like you get obsessed with
That's
it.
a
I'm like,
diagnostics free business.
yeah,
Though, you
I'm
know,
like
it's
20
so
people
much
liked this one,
different.
and like 35 people liked the other ones. Maybe the other one's a little bit better, so it'll drive you
Right.
nuts though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but even that's helpful information because you're using it from a metric standpoint, and I think that's almost a kind of a necessity for personal business growth.
But I hate it. But I so hate it.
Yep, same. Oh, same. But I think you're right. I mean, I do the same thing. You go through and you're like, how many people? And it's an impulse to look, and I think that's the thing that they've got us by the strings with social media. Is they're using these devices and softwares to really get us to react, to elicit emotion out of us, elicit response out of us,
Oh, yeah.
and elicit addiction to use them continuously. Because what was the term? Daily active user, I think, is the term that like a lot of. Like, I don't know, I'm an idiot when it comes to a lot of science and tech stuff.
Dude,
Like, I'm a nerd when it comes to stuff that I give a shit about, and then appliances because I had to, but I genuinely don't know a ton about, like, technical stuff, other than, I guess, certain things. But this daily active users thing, I think, is fundamentally a problem because it especially with YouTube, they really like to see all of those metrics, and
Oh yeah.
now algorithms are controlling a lot of what kids are seeing, and a good majority of the people watching YouTube are kids daily, and they're just absorbing content like fucking crack cocaine.
Like 10 years ago, did you ever think you'd hear somebody say they want to be a YouTuber and make money?
No.
Holy shit.
Because there was no concept that it was ever going to be a thing. Yeah, people didn't know that it could be monetized and that ads would. What it is that the ad market shifted from one medium to another.
Yeah.
The TV is obsolete. It's going to be gone.
You can't
It
even
is
start a
gone.
video without watching a 30-second ad on YouTube now.
That's it.
And then you see there's like 15 little slashes on a half-hour video, and they're all ads.
Yeah.
And everything's measured by YouTube too.
Yeah.
News, presidential. It's so fucking hilarious how the presidential election has gone in the aspect of how they like MSNBC or CNN says and blah 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 says, and it's like in these polls, it's like polls don't matter, and how they shit on the online Twitter handlers or whatever for like Yang or anybody else. It's like, no, that shit matters. That's the shit that matters now. I'm sorry, the boomer generation in a lot of aspect and even I use Facebook or whatever. That's not nearly as popular and as prominent as Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Snapchat. All of these mediums, if they can be harnessed, are the medium that they're gonna make the most impact to or from. So when you have, somebody like, oh well, somebody say so and so Tulsi Gabbard, for example, her YouTube thing became exponential after the debate, and everybody's like writing that off because she's not an establishment candidate. It's like, no, it's because she's not an establishment candidate. It's not because she didn't actually make an impact. She did, and now you're trying to write it off as not making. So how much of these polls are accurate, right? We start to ask how much of these numbers are factual and how much of they are voter suppression in its own right. Democratic voter suppression. And we would just I say we like I'm a Democratic voter. I'm not. But I still will vote Democrat during the primary because of Yang, whatever it may be. Yeah. A lot of people, they say, well, if the GOP were to do this, well, we'd be all up in arms. We'd be flipping out. We'd be calling them out. We'd be calling everything we can on them about it. Be like, look at what they're doing. Look at how bad they are, And that's what happens. I feel like they're mudslinging all the time. But in reality, they're doing the same goddamn thing. It's both sides of the aisle, and both of them are guilty in so many ways.
They're all trash.
Maybe one more than the other. Look, here's the other thing. I agree, but like in one side, it's like, there's like one side of it that just seems kind of almost impacted more by media than the other, like popular media in Hollywood, right?
Oh yeah,
you know, and that's obviously. Anyway, long story short, I just feel like that whole stuff is being shifted by the media. And I think that the more things change to mediums like this and YouTube, the less the media is going to have an impact, and the more advertisement will be shifted to mediums like this.
Yeah, but definitely.
So huzzah! Get in on the bottom floor of podcasting. Oh wait, I didn't. I'm late to the game.
I seen that movie They Live.
You saw that?
Yes, I
Nice.
just seen it last week.
Nice.
I'm like, holy shit. So good.
Well,
Classic.
What do you think?
Love it. It's freaking crazy.
It's nuts, right?
Oh, that fight scene, it was like fucking half the movie.
Yeah. The basis of that movie was what I wrote a lot of the Daily Human songs based on, that whole theory.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
It's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, I never heard of that. They heard of it, but they've never seen it. Some never heard of it. It's
I
like,
remember you talked about it. I'm like, I never seen. My cousin Pat was talking about it, and I had some time. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it.
yeah,
And I checked it out. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's a good movie.
it's good. It's good.
Or what's that word?
Underrated. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that it's just in that nostalgia period that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I notice a lot of like VHSs. Look at the VHSs.
Nice.
So many VHSs, and then and the cabinets are full, just full. Between you and Austin, yeah, dude, VHSs, they're gonna have a comeback, and there will be a company that will bring back manufacturing of VHSs for sure.
Some smaller bands are putting out EPs on like limited edition, like 50 cassettes. You know, cassettes are kind of coming back a little bit. Oh yeah, we thought about doing it.
Huh.
I seen that too. Yeah.
A little
That's
costly,
cool.
you know, to be at the level we're at, it's a little costly to have that done just to have a laugh, because I mean, how many people can really listen to it and whatever? But no, it's still around.
Yeah.
Right.
Vinyl's coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
And so I think that medium is. They talked. I don't mean to directly pull this from another podcast, but when Rogan was talking to Elon Musk about how like the longing for the need to kind of pull back from this digital era and technology, and that people are just like they're just kind of they're pushing back. They're going back to the sticks, and they want to have, you know, cast iron pans over an actual fire, and you know, like people want to experience things to a more real sense. It was an argument for simulation theory, is what they were discussing. That people would want to pull away from the simulation, and you know, it's a good argument for it. But yeah,
it's like inevitable. You know, you're gonna get to a point where, you know, you've been staring at your screen on your phone for some odd hours, and you stop and go, oh fuck, Jesus.
Yeah, people want to get away from it.
Then you go outside and like you're dizzy.
Then you go
vertigo and
outside.
shit.
Like, there's air out.
There's air out.
There's fucking air out here. guy
Kinda.
falls out of a plane.
Go outside.
Holy shit!
Go outside and look directly at the middle person. Just have like, googly, like, I've been staring at my screen for fucking 8 hours straight.
Yeah,
And just the look of, oh,
yeah. Isn't
here's your mail.
do you?
This is not mine.
I feel like that has kind of brought us to a point as civilization where we're becoming like we're here talking and we're having a very fluid conversation, right? But I think that it's just because we're comfortable, we're friends, we're talking. But how many conversations that you have in real life that do not go like this, that are not fluid,
Yeah, I'm.
that are just jarring as
try to-
fuck?
I try to force fuck him there, but it never really works out too well.
Because you struggle with anxiety and social anxiety big time.
So do I, though. Considering all the stuff I do,
Yeah.
I do big time. Like I'm not one to go out and like see somebody in the store and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if somebody comes over and says something to me, my first thought is, "What the fuck?" But then you know, after I'm kind of like, "Oh, hey, good, how are you?" But I'm never one to start a conversation with a stranger or, Christ, half the time with people I really know.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where I was going, is that you guys can relate a lot on this specifically because we've discussed it, and I can relate to it too, but from a different perspective, because I wear the extrovert really well, but I don't like it at all, and I think that I can relate to you in that aspect. And, but at the same time, like the social anxiety, it's like that. We all kind of have a good appreciation for societal anxiety with fucking uncomfortable assholes in public.
I learned not too long ago that I like acting, but I don't like watching myself act. I'll never. I saw myself in Castle Rock season 2, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I don't need to do this again.
Really?
It's awesome doing it. It's awesome saying that you got to do it.
Yeah.
But actually sit and watch yourself do stuff, I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
not my thing.
I know a lot of, but before you make that decision, most actors I hear don't watch themselves. They choose
Some do,
to
some
not.
don't. I mean, I saw an interview with Samuel L. Jackson specifically said, fucking right, I do. And you know how he is anyway. But I'm just like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it.
That's great, but no, that's get the fucking right. I do. I can picture that. Yeah, that makes so much sense. I would never be that person though. I could never just sit there and want to watch, but like I don't want to listen to my own music.
No, I'm the same.
We've been in how many bands together, and it's like, nope, I never really, once I'm done vocal recording.
Hey, how's the vocals on the mix? Yeah, sounds good.
Good.
Send it.
That'll do.
That'll do.
It's usually that's enough.
If I'm
for
too
me.
loud in the monitors, I'm like, no, turn the monitors down some, a little more. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
You know, it's again, we talked about the recording aspect too. Tracking it's murder. I can't stand it.
It is awful. It's awful. It's such a fucking process that I some vocalists just like to hear themselves sing or talk. Maybe, I don't know.
I think to be a great vocalist, you have to, because you have to be able to listen to yourself do it.
Yeah.
I can't, if it's funny because we recorded one time and I helped lay down the scratch tracks, and I was fine tracking everything because I was already kind of, all right, I've just done this. All I have to do is do it again and do it again and do it again. But like, if everybody tracks their stuff, and then it's my turn to go to the studio and track vocals, it almost sounds like I've never done vocals before in my life. I'm just so, because I don't have the drums to scream over. I don't have the guitars right there.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how loud it is in the headphones.
And
it's never
this
the
is
same.
something that guitarists and vocal. I mean, you can understand.
Dude,
I
I've
think.
seen you do vocal tracks over and over, and it's fucking. Can
But
somebody
then,
play? Like,
then you hear us
Smash?
play live, and you're like, "What the hell is the difference here?"
It's a difference. It's a
a
mental
difference.
block. It's just a mental switch that.
And you understand.
It takes a lot of grapes
But-
for
Randy and I can relate. Not everyone understands.
No.
They're like, I don't understand. Why can't you just do like, because it's not the same thing. Vocally, and this is what I've come to the conclusion of, is that if you had the ability to sit in a room by yourself and loosen up or whatever, and have the keyboard to hit space yourself whenever you need to, and back it up and just do it on your own terms,
Try it. Yeah.
all by yourself, I think that the dynamic would change. But I think what they don't understand is that vocalizing is a very personal thing for some people.
Yeah.
Some people it's not. But I think that those, a lot of times, oh man, this is going to be a very dividing thing to say. Those are the vocalists that don't have a whole lot of substance. Vocally, they're talented. They blow me out of the water. The fucking lead vocalist of Five Finger Death Punch, or whatever he is there. God, that sounds so insulting. Or whatever he is. Fucking sorry, but I think it's just not my cup of tea. That's all. He's a good vocalist, and he's got a lot on me. Great. But when it comes to writing something with just from consciousness,
Yeah.
just from creation, from imagination, I'm wondering how much of that's written by a producer, how much is written by him.
We opened for them this summer. I had to act like it was my thing.
Yeah.
For 90 minutes, we played to open up, and we had to act like, hey, who's ready for Five Finger Death Punch?
Yeah.
Of course, everybody was all amped up, but we're just
Right.
like, we are 10 times heavier than the band that's going
Yeah.
on after us,
Right.
and these people don't want us here. I mean, people were really into it, but that's my thought going into it. It's like, they don't want us here because we are the epitome of unholy compared to this band.
Yeah.
But
Very
everybody
heavy.
loved it. Every time I go into a situation thinking that, we open up for Light the Torch. I thought the same thing. We're the only, I was the only one that screamed on stage 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And the crowd ate it up. They absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
I'm there thinking, they hate us. They're going to ask us to leave, and
Right.
we're never coming back. But
But is there a way as a vocalist for you that you can take that energy and thrive on it and just drive yourself further through it?
oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I have to.
Absolutely.
I have to.
Yeah. I relate to that so much. Oh, yeah. A couple of times in Unrest in Transit, we're like, we do not belong here. The Black Veil Brides show, specifically that show.
I don't.
Like what you're talking about. Same scenario.
Yeah, you're just like, they don't want us here. They're going to throw hair products and razors at us because it's Black Veil Brides.
Everybody's so pumped though. Like, for that,
We did get a good response, and
'Cause they're
I
just-
was unexpecting.
Yeah,
What?
they're happy it's a show. You know, not all the bands have to be cookie cutter. Not all the bands have to be the same. One might be a little lighter, one may be heavier.
Yeah. My thing.
Fortunately.
It went kind of south though at one point, at least with the promoters. Bernie, fuck you. Sorry. I don't care. No, I don't care. Anyway, they burned half of the fans that were there to see that band, and it sucked so bad. You stay neutral. I genuinely.
I really can't. I don't know.
No, I know you don't remember.
I just sat back and went,
I'm angry about it today.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why is like, those kids are there. They're spending $80 for fucking hoodies for this fucking band that could give a fuck less about them. Let's face it. Sorry, BVB. But you guys didn't give a shit because you knew, and that's the thing that made me so angry, is they knew that their fans were getting hosed half of them that paid for a meet and greet got fucked royally.
Oh, that meet
Angry
and greet
fans.
stuff is usually a bunch of shit.
It is, but
Yeah, I've seen a lot
but
of
they
that.
didn't even do the shit. Just the bullshit that they should just they go through. I know they walk through and then blah, blah, yeah, cool. I changed your life. Nice. On to the next. I get it. They got a lot of people, a lot of fans. It's hard. Like I could never imagine that, and this is part of the reason why I don't think I could ever stomach being famous, even if I could be. I don't know. It takes a lot out of people. I get that. But
It's
if you don't do it unless you have the respect for the people that, because there's some people that pour their heart out to you, like that Black Veil Bride show. Like this kid just really had a lot to say, and it was the most impactful moment of my entire life, right? But then you go and you see situations like that where these kids are paying top dollar for cloth, these cloth hoodies that are not even gonna last, like the shirts back when we were kids.
they're made out of wood and rocks, built to last. They had to be because we walked uphill both ways in the snow to get to school.
That's right.
I wore a treehouse to school.
Right.
An actual one on my head.
Oh, what made me so angry about that show is just the sheer disregard for the fact that there's no money going back, and he was out of there as fast as fucking possible, like grease.
Oh, is that your,
Bernie. Oh yeah, I'm shameless about it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about New
there's so
England
many
concerts.
things I forgot about that era, and so many things maybe we haven't really talked about too much because we're just going
Yeah, no, I mean, some interesting experiences I had, but it's like pay to play. Like I get it, and I did it a couple of times, and Matt was always for it, right?
But you get hosed with that
You
shit,
get
man.
hosed for it. We
big time.
we did okay when we were booking a bus full of people.
But
That
you have
worked
to
out.
bring a bus full of people.
But you got to be able to bring
Yeah.
a bus full of people. Yeah, it's great when there's free alcohol included in the cost of the,
Yeah.
the tickets. So.
stuff that was like the zombie juice. or
Piss.
something.
Oh, the jungle juice.
Yeah.
Dude, so Lance, now that guy, he's got an idea of what the music promotion business is all
He was a
about.
cool dude.
He might be friends with Bernie, I don't know, but Lance Tobin is an
No idea.
awesome human being, and that guy, he genuinely understands what it's like to be a musician, but he also understands it from the business sense, and he books, well, I don't think he's doing it now, but did an amazing job booking amazing acts, the Brighton Music Hall, but also the Middle East in Cambridge.
Nice.
He's just really phenomenal. I mean, that's just a couple of places. I know he's all over the place, but we only dealt with him like twice, I think.
I could never do that, man.
Yeah, a lot of stress.
I get burned out. Like somebody would offer us a show, so then I have to run it by all four of the guys, and then talk to this person, and they either come to me or they come to Scott. I'm the vocalist, so they come to me or they come to Scott because of the radio station.
Yep.
So it's just like my automatic thought is, fuck, I don't feel like doing this. But you have to do it, so whatever. But it stresses me out so much, and I dislike dealing with people so much.
Yeah.
And I never had a bad experience. Like, whoever booked us, they were always really cool about it, and everything always worked out. But it's not something I like to do. I would never, hey, I'll take care of booking your band for you.
Yeah. Right.
Nope. I don't even like talking on the phone. So
Yeah, that's.
Yep. No, I hate doing like that B2B style business stuff with Samsung, let alone music, which is something I love doing. Then just incorporate something the facet of something that I hated
yeah,
into that.
yeah. It's like you love doing it, so you can deal with it.
Yeah.
And the end result is always good. You get a show. Hopefully, it's a good show. Blah blah blah. You get more
It's always
fans out of it.
self-serving.
But
There's
yeah.
never a reason that you really do it outside of the benefit to the band that you're in. Usually, yeah. Even book it like any time I've ever set up shows. Like I've never set up shows just to set up shows. Like promoters do that. Like I set up shows. I'm like, hey, we need to put together a show. And I'm reaching out to Rex or or Al or somebody and being like, hey, we got to do this here, or we're trying to set something up, and then I reach out to bands. and everybody's but yeah, that dynamic where you're always reaching out to everybody, and it's just like
It's brutal.
It really does. It does. And you know, the thing is, in a band dynamic is always such a tough thing because you're in a relationship with like three other guys or girls or whatever it may be, you know. And there's when you tour with them, it's like I can't imagine touring with
And being
I've
in a
never done it
van with
personally.
like the same people for a month and a half, 2 months, 3
Yeah,
months.
dude, no.
Like there's not a human being on the face of this planet that I want to talk to every day. There isn't.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Totally.
I go to the gym at 7 a.m.
Even
because there's
Justin
nobody
and I-
there. Like,
so close. I can say confidently that we don't want to see each other all the time.
you know,
It wouldn't be a problem, but it would just be like.
It'd be like,
I
uh,
got my stuff.
hey,
your stuff,
there you are
everybody's got their own
again.
stuff.
Yeah.
no. Eventually, it does become a problem because I got my stuff and you get your stuff, and your stuff's touching my stuff.
It's touching mine.
Somebody smells like fucking cheese. Somebody else smells like taco meat. Like it's just
Goddamn right,
Oh,
absolutely.
my armpits would make it throw.
Especially if you're in a band with all other dudes, like fucking dude. Everybody knows what ball sweat smells like, 'cause
Right.
They have balls, but when you're all together,
Oh, tornado.
and you all played a show.
yeah. You're
Sweating.
you're on
Played
stage
another
where
one.
it's 90 something degrees for you're probably up there half-hour minimum.
It's been 3 shows, 4 transports, and 4 load-ins since you've had a shower,
Yeah.
all of you,
Oof.
on a small little van
So props
in
to,
Atlanta,
touring bands.
Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Props to people who
Kudos to you guys, because I've never done it, and I always romanticize the idea of it, and then I really thought about what it entailed,
It's brutal.
and I was like, absolutely fucking not.
I have friends that do it. I have friends that do it and love it. It's the kind of thing
Yeah.
you do when you're
Yeah.
like, you try it out in your mid-20s, and if you like it, you keep doing it. If you're fortunate enough to keep doing it, it's not something you're like,
It's not something you start out in your 30s.
Yeah.
At my point.
hey, I'm 38. I think I'll start a band and try to tour the world. It's like, no, you're not. You're not gonna do
You're
it.
not gonna
Somebody's gonna have a mental break.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you're a bunch of dads about it and you spent your money and you're like, we're gonna go tour Europe and spend $5,000 of our own money planning it out and then making money off of it and talking to the right people, and you had a good rapport in your own local area and then really planned it out. I mean, like, planned it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could break even at least and make it an experience, or like make a little bit of money back from it because it's, you know,
If you're
Face
selling
it,
merch, you're
Europe.
making money. Yeah.
they eat up American bands.
Yes, they
I
do.
hate to say it. It doesn't matter what you are. I really feel like such a dick, but it's true to any of those successful people. It's if you can make it in the United States, then you are a band. Because the United States is $700 bar. Like there might be 3 people there, and you're in Tennessee. And
Yeah.
they're like eating chicken, watching you play.
They love,
You
they
get
love
paid
Hasselhoff in
$700
Europe. We'll just leave it at that.
for the week.
They love Hasselhoff in Europe.
Right.
His music. So
Exactly.
enough said.
It's like you get to play really good shows out in Europe. So if you're ever thinking touring, everybody's like, we're gonna travel from Idaho to California. Like, no, dude, just fucking get plane tickets and go across the ocean
Yep.
and spend your money fucking wisely and have a good time. Maybe actually fuck something other than your hand. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to go live the rock star lifestyle, and like, no, I shouldn't say that. You obviously can have a good time touring in the United States, sweating a lot
It's just hard. It's brutal work.
in Tennessee.
And maybe you
It
break
is.
even.
It
You know,
is.
you don't do music because you want to make money.
No,
If you want to play music and make money, you start a cover band, and cover bands don't really tour anyway. So
right.
I mean,
So
if-
that's the cushy position there. Yeah.
yeah,
You feel passionate and you want to drive and grind towards it. That's what you do.
That's-
And I mean, all jokes aside, at the end of the day, this is like band number like 11 for me. I don't fucking know. I just keep driving at it and keep pushing at it,
It's good
and
for
not that like I have this delusion that like I'm gonna make it big someday. I don't really give a shit about that. I got to do a lot of the cool stuff with you and Matt, and fucking get to play on the Palladium stage. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna chalk that as a win.
Yeah.
Tuck that in my my spank bank of memories. You know,
I never played the Palladium. Never played the Palladium stage at all. The Meadowbrook 3 times, so I can't complain. But
that's awesome. I never got to play that stage, and I wanted to.
Small stage twice, the large stage once.
Yeah. Those stages when you can hear yourself. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's why I love playing the Brick House. Is like for a small venue, like, God, it's great playing there. You know what I mean? When you can hear yourself and everything's great and everything's running smoothly and you're not rushing everything. And
I live streamed our set from the band Facebook page, but Al also recorded us.
That's awesome.
From the board, and he gave Sean, our guitarist, the mix.
I couldn't be there. Like I really wanted to be to that.
There's
show.
a lot of people that wanted to go. That how it is. Life happens. So 20 people say they want to go. They're gonna go. 15,
but
maybe 10 show up.
It sucks when you like try to set up everything you can. Like I had every intention, and I had sitters set up. And,
yeah, it happens. So there will be actual live. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I'm thinking maybe we'll just throw it up on our Bandcamp page.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's live video. The sound quality of the video is bad. The service wasn't great, so it kept cutting out here and there. But sound wise, the video sounds really good.
That's awesome. That's great.
So I figured that's the last show.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, anyway. So we'll kind of make a big deal out of it. And
so, I mean, feel free to answer this comfortably or not. I mean, what was the reason? Did you guys decide that that you just wanted to take a break from? I mean, I kind of read the thing. It sounds like it's just a lot of moving parts, but
a lot of people. One guy, his job pretty much switched him to nights indefinitely, 6 or 7 nights a week.
Yep.
We got a bass player is almost done with college. So he's working a 40-hour job and like 35 hours at an internship. So we were kind of practicing once a week anyway. We lost our original jam space, so we didn't practice for about 2.5 months because we didn't have a place to play.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of lined up and...
Right. I
it's
know
like...
that all too well.
Just kind of got to the point. We got one guy that runs a business. He kind of like has a construction business that he does, and it's just...
Yep.
Everybody is... kind of really busy, so it's just kind of thing to put kind of go out on our own terms. If we come back and once everyone's a little more sorted, maybe in the summer we might be able to play a show or two, maybe write another song or two, but pretty much done for now. So
no, I mean it's good when you can all kind of have a consensus to kind of together where everything stands, which is good.
So our bass player was kind of...
There's a lot of moving parts with a lot of different people.
Yeah, you get 5 people that...
Yeah.
And our bass player was kind of freaking out. Like, he wanted to... Kind of for to go to the band, he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
He kind of felt like he was holding us back. And then we kind of made the decision to be like, okay, well, we're just gonna call it quits after this show. He was like, actually, I'm glad now I don't have to leave and feel like shit for leaving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we are for now. So
it's tough because I mean, ka is a wheel, as they say.
Yes.
And life changes, and you can't predict it. You can't control it. You can kind of adapt to it.
I just roll with it,
Divert the stream, so to speak. Yeah.
Must have had a dozen people come up and ask me what I had lined up next after this. I don't have anything lined up after this. There's one thing I'd like to do something. What I really want to do, because I know you like this kind of stuff. I really want to do something like old school pitch shifter, like Godflesh, old school like Death Industrial.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
I so want to do a project like that.
I actually was saying the same thing a little while back because
back in the day.
Dude,
they were so good. I still listen.
Great.
I just listened to that like for a couple days straight after that gig because I'm like, if I do something, I want to do something like this. Like,
so it's funny. The first time I heard them, I was playing Twisted Metal 3. That's what it was.
Twisted Metal 3?
That's how I heard about Pitch Shifter.
Video games got me into so many
Or
bands.
was it Twisted? I think it was Twisted Metal 3. I don't know. It was the Twisted Metal game. I'm pretty sure it was Twisted Metal 3. And it had Rob Zombie and Pitch Shifter. And I'm like, what is this band? And I went and I bought that album from, what was that place in the Lilac Mall in Rochester, New Hampshire? What were they called?
NRM.
Yes. NRM. NRM music. Yeah.
Wow, that's
See, I got into them, not late, but I got into them when PitchShifter.com came out.
Okay.
I liked the song, like the song Genius came out. I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is pretty good. So I bought that. I'm like, oh, they got older stuff. I wonder what the older stuff is like. And my mind was blown when I heard the older stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so brutal. It's so heavy.
Right.
What happened?
Yeah, they changed. They went to a complete like electronica,
Kind of like,
Britronica. I don't know.
and the albums got more and more mellow. Like, I still like the mellower stuff that they did. It was still good, but it wasn't like the first 3 albums were just
Not
like
at all.
life changing.
Yeah. I really like the idea of making music like that, but it's so intimidating because everything I've done musically previously has not been created in a DAW software
Oh, yeah.
or anything electronic. It's always been with instruments. So for me it's slightly intimidating, like, because I'm almost obsessive about certain things. I feel like I'm just gonna obsess over it and it's never gonna be finished, and I have limitations as a guitarist, so like I can only play so good.
Yeah.
So that's the song. It's like I can do what vocally whatever I want. But yeah, no, that's it. Throw some distortion over it, and that's it. There we go, dude. That's it.
Like, if you listen to the kind of stuff they did, none of it was like intricate guitar work or anything. It was just
No.
heavily distorted vocals, a drum machine. Like,
Remember God Lives Underwater? Did you guys listen to that band?
did when they came out. I think they put out 2 albums. I had one of them. I had the first one.
Yeah, I got the. It's like the Jesus Underwater.
Underwater. Yeah, I think that was the first one.
I listened to that a couple weeks ago. I was like, what the frick?
At the time, I liked them. I listened to it because I was digging through my old CDs, and I'm
Yep.
like, holy shit, I remember this. It didn't really hold up to me. I was like, I don't really like
Yeah.
it so much now, but
Yeah. I was doing dishes and I'm like, wow. Listening to like playlists and stuff like that.
and any fusion of electronic music and metal, I absolutely love.
Yep. Definitely.
So
Keep getting that right. Fair work.
what was the name of that band? From the movie AI. It was a Steven Spielberg movie.
Holy shit, I remember that movie.
God, it starts with an M. Like a heavier, you know.
Did you say band or song?
Yeah, band. A band.
Alright.
I don't know if I ever heard the soundtrack
Start
of it,
with it.
honestly.
Start with kind of doomy, kind of not doomy. I don't know. They had some electronic aspects to their music. Anyway, they're featured in that. This is
Big long pauses.
I don't know. I can't think of it. I
Is
can't
it,
think.
like something that was on a movie?
Oh yeah,
Or like a
yeah.
film?
Yeah, if I could find my phone.
They start with an M?
Yeah.
Is like techie?
Yeah. Austin loves this band.
Starts with an M. A movie.
Ministry.
Ministry.
I just looked it up.
That's
I'm like,
fucking
AI
perfect.
soundtrack. I love Ministry, dude.
Okay, so that's the band.
It's nice.
And I don't know that they incorporate a ton of electronic music, but at least in this specifically. But it made me think specifically of them because it was heavier, and for the time, 90s, was like industrial. Does that?
Industrial metal,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
They're like the epitome of like 90s industrial metal.
Okay. So they I like a lot of different types of music, but they capture me. They capture that time frame for me in my head.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Big time.
Definitely. That's when they were kind of like most known, you know. They were on Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead loved them, so
Right, right.
they were like the
It's
thing.
weird. I associate that band with the Matrix, even though they were never in the Matrix soundtrack at all.
Should have been.
But
Maybe they should have been.
But they should have been.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have fit, and I'm just like looking back on it, like the Wachowskis. I'm like, why?
I used to play a PC game called Vampire the Masquerade, and there's a part of the game you go into this nightclub and it's playing Ministry, Bad Blood. I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking cool.
They
It's
were
just
in
the
a lot of
coolest
video
thing.
games,
Yeah.
though, right? They were also in. No, that's not them. In the Duke Nukem game. What was that? No. Can't you trip like I do? No, that's Filter. That's Filter.
Filter, yeah.
That's Filter. That's not. Then that's not even who I'm thinking of.
They were good too.
Yeah.
They're very good for a while.
Can't think of that band either. I'm just drawing blanks today. I can't, for the love of me, think of in the Duke. It was Duke Nukem 3D, maybe.
Duke.
What was the Duke Nukem game that was like just doomed forever? It was supposed to come out, and it took him like 10 years. And
Oh, the one that came. I can't think of what it is. I never played it,
Duke
but I
Nukem
remember.
Forever. That's what it was.
I've watched plenty of videos about what a
I
disappointment
don't
that
think
game
it
was.
ever came out, right? Did it come out?
They had one come out that was like 10, 15 years in the making, and everybody hated it.
Oh man, that's awful. That much time for it to come out and flop.
Well, it was. I guess it got
Lots of hype.
hung up for different reasons, and maybe programmers get switched in and out. It's usually what happens when stuff takes forever, and then people don't like it. There's usually a ton of reasons why it's no good.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is almost always it's got to be producers getting their hands into it, money.
It's like a lot of movies too. A lot of movies start out great, and then it gets all snipped to shit from the studio, and then it's awful.
Cost reasons, yeah.
Yep.
And then the director is either gonna hang on to their vision, or they fucking
Most of the time, they're told they're not going to hang on to their vision, and they're going to conform, and then the movie comes out and it's terrible.
right. Well, there are circumstances like Peter Jackson with The Lord of the Rings, where I know that there was some specific things that were supposed to change that he was. I mean, he, again, like you said, it got forced, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of things that were supposed to get forced that didn't, and he was like, "I'm not gonna do this. You're gonna find somebody else to do it," kind of thing. Which it's interesting. I watched some of the backstory on that and how it got made and ultimately where it ended up. And good thing that they did it, because I mean, really, each one of those movies are incredibly long in themselves.
Yeah.
But for the medium that needed to like, you can't have that just exist in books. I hate to say it, but not everybody reads nowadays, and you really need some of these things to still translate to to future generations, past the literature.
Like look at what happened at the Dark Tower. I so wanted to like that movie.
It was terrible.
I wanted to love that movie. I loved the
God
books so much, but the
fucking
movie just wasn't good.
It really wasn't. And the thing was, is like, I like what's that?
I'm so far behind on all.
Oh yeah.
And I'll even go on and say I like most of what Idris does. Most of the movies he's in, shows, whatever. Some of the
Me too.
British TV shows he's in.
He's a good.
The guy's
he's
great.
a good actor. Charles Minor on The Office.
Yeah.
I like him. I was really like all about it, and then I'm like,
It just wasn't a good movie.
dude,
It just
he didn't. There was no thanky side, nothing, dude. Like it was just there was, but for that like short gap when they were in that town, like
Yeah.
all of a sudden their language changes. All of a sudden, like what the? It's just it was so brutally done.
It's something that, I mean, they should have at least planned 2
All right.
movies at a minimum.
Let's just kind of call it for what it was. In
Shit show.
time, in actual length of movie, though.
Oh, I know. That thing should have been 2.5 hours long with another planned movie or 2 after.
Yeah, like well, I mean, of course, the idea was a franchise, right?
Yeah.
It's always a franchise. It's
But they
always
didn't
like
even end
how-
it like they wanted to make it a franchise.
It was so bad.
I sat in the theater and waited until the lights came back on. I'm like, oh, I guess that's it. There's no after credits scene. There's no nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And this is terrible. And what did I just spend my money on? And can I have it back?
I bought it on Blu-ray too, just because
So-
I had to have it.
I love the Dark Tower series so much. I was so let down only because it's like, how dare you take all 7 of those novels, 8 if you want to include Went Through the Keyhole, and cram this into a movie that wasn't even 2.5 hours, wasn't even 2 hours, wasn't even 1.5 hours.
And-
it was an hour and 27 minutes. How fucking insulting.
And I was even on board with the fact that it was supposed to take place after
Yeah.
the books.
Okay.
Okay, so it's another time around, you know, because he's doomed to do it over and over and
It's
over.
supposed to be cyclical.
But they didn't even do that right.
They did that terribly. Like, they emphasized the fact that he had the horn. Yeah. No.
Awful.
Terrible.
Shame. It's a shame.
It's just
I was so looking forward to that.
so bad.
And then there's the new Stand series that's coming up, but that's CBS All Access. Don't even get me started on that shit,
Yeah,
because there's no way I'm going to subscribe to CBS All Access as
No,
well.
I'm just gonna watch it like you are, and we're gonna find it on X Movies 8 or Putlocker or whatever the fuck it is online.
There's no way. I've got enough streaming services. I've got enough streaming services, and I'm not going to pay for it because that's really the only thing. Why would I subscribe to something that CBS has? I want to see that one series.
And
I got
that's the only-
CBS on my TV, so I'm not going to stream them as well.
Yeah.
They do that with
Everything does that now.
Disney Plus just did it with little Baby Yoda.
Fuck them too.
Yeah.
I'll never subscribe to Disney Plus.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? They have all of my money.
Nah.
All of it.
Never. I'm good.
Oh my god.
And I like Disney stuff.
I love Star Wars so much. You have no idea.
I
How
like
much of it-
Disney's
and
properties.
and
I don't like Disney as a company.
Yeah.
And I don't like what they're doing with
Yeah.
Marvel. Did you hear now that Marvel? Okay, so they're gonna have all these series on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens in the series is going to influence the theatrical movies.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you
gonna-
don't have Disney Plus, some things in the movies aren't going to make any sense.
There will be some tie-in, but they won't
Fuck
do.
that.
You know that they're not going to do it any more than they did with the previous movies. That like, if you didn't watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, sure, there's going to be some tie-ins into Avengers.
But at least those are movies. So if you
You're
didn't
still
buy the
gonna
movie,
watch
or if you
it.
didn't go to the theater, that was your business. But you didn't have to get a streaming service to find out those couple little 3 or 4 tie-ins.
Right, that's true.
They're
Because
just,
if you
they're
didn't-
totally getting out of hand with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also think that they the whole thing was to tie all of that stuff into from beginning, with what was it called, The Defenders on Netflix.
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
those
yeah.
were all supposed to tie in.
And
They were-
that just didn't catch at all.
because they had money. It's always money. At the end of
Honestly, the
day,
only series
it's
that was
always
really any
money.
good was The Punisher.
I like that a lot. I liked it a lot, but I liked Daredevil a lot.
I did like Daredevil. I couldn't get.
You know what though? I liked Luke Cage, and I liked all of it. Jessica Jones is like,
Yeah.
but
Kilgrave really kept me tuned into season 1 with Jessica Jones. I got
Yeah.
3 episodes into season 2. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
yeah, because it was all supposed to lead up to the whole Defenders thing.
Yeah.
Which again, you had to watch all the other.
And the
series.
Defenders, a little 4 episodes. That was all right. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I liked Iron Fist.
Everybody hated Iron Fist, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
so much.
One of my coworkers, when I was still at my job,
Danny Rand.
my friend's like,
For the
"You
record.
actually like that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
It's good to me.
I read the comics and it wasn't at all off. Like they did a really good job.
I guess people had issue with his acting. They didn't like him as an actor in that part, but I don't know.
Really,
Take it for what it
because
is.
Danny Rand was that kind of like
Kind of cocky,
nerdy, kind of
yeah.
you know. Yeah.
I mean,
Serious catching up to do. That's what I need.
yeah, you gotta watch some. So like, even with the Marvel stuff though, now that they're going that direction, same thing. Like, people, I gotta catch up.
Yeah.
I've got to go back and watch
Yep.
all these,
exactly.
and they're gonna do the same thing with Star Wars.
Oh, of course.
I know that
Of
the
course.
Mandalorian is tying into this new part of the movie. I know
Oh, is
for
it
a
really?
fact that. Oh yeah. The
Mandalorian.
Baby Yoda thing is gonna be a titular because this takes place between Return of the Jedi and Episode 7.
Okay.
So they're doing this whole thing that's gonna kind of lead like a background story, I think. That sucks because they got my cash. They got my whole wallet
Yeah.
right in their teeth.
Not me.
I gave them
I don't foresee it ever happening.
The whole thing. I gave them a year membership just for fucking just the Mandalorian. Just because I'm such a diehard Boba Fett guy. Like,
That's who that is.
yeah. Well,
I'm
he
just-
so he is kind of like him. He's a
Mandalorian.
He's a Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
made a stupid
Good
meme
meme.
about it.
Your meme was good. I enjoyed it. I had a good laugh. I had a good laugh chuckle.
I just pat myself on the back for shit like that.
Dude, you should.
You get
You
on-
should. Me too. Me too. All the time.
Oh, I think I got. What was the Nicolas Cage one I sent you?
Oh, yeah.
Just get him out there.
Fucking shit, dude.
I'm just sitting here alone. I'm just,
Like that's got to be Nick Caged.
What did I do today? It's just like, right on.
Carry on. What do you think? What do you think the whole like diversion tactic thing from the Epstein thing is going to be?
Oh, God.
I mean, I know, right? Aliens.
You think they'll finally come out and say it?
I think they're just gonna be like
There's so many high-profile
"Don't
people
look
that
here."
stand to just
yeah
get burned by that.
I think they're gonna. I think that they've
Over in
got
England
that
right
in their
now.
back pocket for an emergency.
I think you're probably right.
I
I know I
think
never
that's
really
the
thought of
break.
that, but you're probably right.
I think it's the break glass thing, and they're just waiting for this to get so bad that they can't fucking
Hey, look, jingly keys.
over here.
Yeah. No, seriously, I didn't even think of that.
And I'm just like, I'm just waiting. So who knows? This is being recorded on
If that's what it takes, good. They'll finally admit it.
before Thanksgiving.
Well, is it the Navy, Air Force? I mean, the armed services have already admitted there's stuff they don't know what it is that
Right.
they've seen,
Unidentified
and they've
aerial
released some of the
phenomena.
videos and stuff, and
Shit-defying physics. They're like, this is not
nothing.
terrestrial.
Yeah,
Origin.
nothing man-made can turn like that and
Nothing
accelerate
can
like
move.
that. And
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Underwater.
I love that I've been seeing it's on like
Change
it's
mediums.
on like ABC News at 6:30 for a while. Everywhere. You know, it's not just these underground YouTube channels talking about it. It's legit world news, prime time.
Fox, it's on. It's
Yeah.
on like everything.
Hence the subversion of power. Universal basic knowledge.
But they're getting uppity. There could be an uprising. We'll throw them these couple crumbs, stuff we've known for 40 years but always denied.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I never even thought of that, dude. But you know,
Just like you just said, it's gonna be just like stupid shit that we've already known. Like turns out Project Blue Book
yeah,
existed. Really,
yeah,
fuck it. Yeah, dude. There's a TV show on fucking History Channel, but yeah,
dude. Yeah.
Santa Claus is not real.
Again, when I was writing the like
Some
human
crumbs.
songs, I would watch endless. Like I'd go to Netflix and Amazon streaming and just watch all these specials on all this stuff and kind of get inspiration for writing about alien stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I think that would make a lot of sense if So here's a weird theory about the alien thing. Like, what if it's not extraterrestrial beings and it's just us, but from the future, and we can't interact with us?
I saw something like that. It was. Have you seen that?
Uh,
It's a doctored up video. Obviously, it's
time paradox.
fake, but it's.
Oh, really?
It's an alien interview, quotation marks, alien interview on YouTube. I'll send it to you. It's actually, it's the very first thing I posted on the They Look Human page when I first opened up the Facebook page. And it's like an interview, and it's like all dark. And the effects are actually kind of cool for what it is. And this guy is interviewing it, and he says,
I know
we're
what
from the
you're talking
future, and blah, blah, blah.
And he said, I thought he said something like about
It's cool,
being
dude.
from another dimension or something instead, or he was like, no, I'm from a dimension. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think there's 3 parts to it.
Oh man, that's fucking wild.
But it's pretty cool. It's because nothing that they kind of made up is really all that far-fetched, in my opinion. Like it could all feasibly really be the case.
Really happen.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. It's basically what I do.
I am an X-File, so
Yes. I watched Skinwalker Ranch.
I saw that. I watched that.
Yeah, some interesting stuff going on there.
That stuff made my skin crawl, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm just like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
They genuinely,
One of them shot it.
Yeah.
there's genuinely some interest from these private corporations into that area.
Oh yeah.
Like, why are they dumping money?
I'm telling you, man. Like
That's all fact. I mean, we don't have any proof of aliens over there, but like all the money that they're spending and generating into that area, where there's been paranormal research for over 60 years.
Yep. All of a sudden, it's bought up privately, and they weren't allowed to film there anymore,
Yeah,
and all that
yeah.
stuff. It's like, man, I don't know. Think about it. It wasn't really that long ago. Mankind was banging a couple rocks together to try to make a spark.
Yeah.
Even look back to like the 50s and 60s. All of a sudden, there's microwaves.
Yeah.
We've got cell phones that are this big now instead of a huge thing you got to hold up and dial with a rotary.
What catalyzed it? What changed?
Found technology from the Roswell crash. And probably other stuff that we don't know about, but found technology.
So how many
reverse
times-
engineered.
How many times have
I
they?
definitely believe in some of that, for sure.
How many times have they engineered this? I mean, maybe this isn't the first time. Maybe it happened when they,
My theory.
with the introduction of the tool and the opposable thumb.
Yeah.
Maybe it happened with the Egyptians. Maybe it happened again in Roswell. We discovered new technology.
Well,
They
there's
leave
cave
breadcrumbs.
paintings that are so far away regionally that all depict the similar things.
Yeah.
All these discs in the sky. It's like, they weren't copying homework back then.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jesus.
You know what I actually think? That you'd probably like this. Jesus.
I did that.
I can tear the whole place up.
I did that with my head.
It's all right.
I think we've been here before. We destroyed ourselves.
And we're doing.
And I
again.
think there's records of it that not everybody is privy to. We're not allowed to know. But I think we've been here before. We destroyed ourselves, and
So
it's
like
like
that-
our second or third time around right
Yep.
now.
I thought about that too.
There's that
Definitely.
ancient gear that exists.
There's
that
ruins.
they
There's
found.
ruins under the ocean that we can't get to because of the great, the pressure under the ocean. Or maybe they just tell us there's great pressure under the ocean. But I think we've been here before. Mankind's destroyed ourselves, and we're just kind of. This is our second or third time around,
Yep.
and we're getting there again.
So
The planet will cool off again after a while, and it'll start all over again.
Yep.
so I mean, even like the, there's a specific I forget what the name of the gear was, but it was found under the ocean. It was carbon dated to be thousands of years old, and it's a gear. It's known as a computer.
I saw
It's
something
sort of
like
not
that.
a computer,
Yeah.
but it's like a first machine
Looks like a little wheel.
way before. Yeah.
Like stuck. It's like kind of.
I look up so much stuff like that I really can't think of it, but I know I read something. It might be the one you're talking about, yeah.
So if that if that has happened, if we've been here, we've done this before. Oof. Man, that makes a strong fucking argument for simulation theory.
That'd be creepy if it was
Right?
a harvest.
Right?
Simulation theory. Holy shit. That makes a really strong.
Wouldn't that be some shit? That's not even like all that unbelievable.
Right.
If you're gonna put yourself out there and talk about the stuff we talked about, that's not all that unbelievable.
Not at all.
That this is a simulation, or they want to see what makes us tick, or they want to keep the last of the humans happy, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Whatever
You
the
use us for
reasoning is.
batteries.
Yeah, the reason as to why is probably not even the thing we'd be able to figure out.
Why do these stupid things destroy themselves all the time? We'll run a simulation and see what they do over the course of their lifetimes.
They have great batteries. We don't understand.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Reset.
Their pain and suffering seems to generate a lot of really good art. Let's continue with that.
Right.
It gets the aliens high.
Yeah.
Pain and suffering.
Oh, that's a creepy idea and a really good
I
idea
think
for a
it's called,
movie.
I can't remember the actual chemical.
We copyright that. If anybody's listening right now, that's our movie. You can't have it. Aliens that get high off
sorrow.
of yeah. Aliens that get high off of pain and suffering. Well, I mean, kind of that we'd be ripping off Pennywise if you want to be indirect, because
No.
Yeah, that's very true.
he is a creature from the macroverse that
Ooh, yeah.
gets high on pain and suffering. He salts his.
I still got to see It Chapter 2.
Good.
I
Good
guess
stuff.
I guess
like
it comes out. I guess it comes out December 4th or something. Next
So-
couple weeks.
Not everybody was happy with the direction throughout the movie, but I because it wasn't like a perfect adaptation. Well, neither was the first movie, and neither was the original miniseries.
I watched.
So I really like these new movies a lot.
I watched the first one, and I was like, it's okay. Well, then I started reading the book. I got halfway through the book, and I watched the first one again.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, this is fucking incredible.
yeah,
This movie's so good. Without reading the book and really having the basis of it, I was like, it's all right, I guess.
yeah.
But seeing how,
It makes it so
Yeah.
much more of an impact.
oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
It's really, really great. I really, and that's why I think I like these so much more than I like the original miniseries of Pennywise.
That was just kind of campy and made for TV, and it was
Yeah,
people love it, but I really didn't like it that much.
They tried really hard, but like even like Bill Denbrough, like fucking douchebag. Like he was just I'm so sorry, but he was a douche. And Tim Curry. Oh, I love Tim Curry as Pennywise. Yeah, iconic Pennywise, right? Like that's great, but like what makes it isn't Pennywise,
No.
and I don't think what most of the kids realize now is that what makes it such an awesome story is the losers. That's what makes that fucking story so awesome.
Yeah,
Is the Losers Club. Like,
it's just a bunch of nothing kids that kind of face their fears.
right, and I think that and through fucking adversity through their town, older boomer generation style kind of people, right?
Yeah.
Racism, all of it. Like they're crazy fucking adversaries. Patrick Hockstetter or whatever. Like all of that. Like that whole thing. You have an appreciation for, and you're gonna love so you read the book,
Yeah.
with you said you read the book after you had seen the movie, the
Yeah.
first movie.
Yeah, I went back. Like, so I got about halfway through the book, and I watched because I own the first.
So you're gonna love the beginning because they do the whole Adrian story, which is weird because that's how the beginning of the book starts. With
I
Adrian
heard about that. I heard about that. Yeah.
and that's the beginning of the fucking the second, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, it makes you like during that part.
I know
And
some people that saw it. They were like, "Man, I don't know. I didn't really like the beginning of that." I'm like, "You're not supposed to like it.
You're not supposed
But
to
that's
like it.
what
Right,
it was
right,
like.
Right.
Really all over the U.S. at that time, especially someplace rural like Maine. That's just that was a mentality, unfortunately.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And I feel like it's almost more of an impact now,
Well, especially now,
and
yeah.
because of all of the divisiveness and all of that stuff, because of the political charged
Yep.
aspect of our life now. And I think that it's just so much more important now. Like that,
You wouldn't think. I'm sure
Yeah.
that wasn't when he wrote it. He wasn't like, hey, this will be big in,
no, he was on
30
a lot of
years,
fucking
too.
cocaine.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he
He was
was.
fucked.
That's how a lot of those crap movies got made.
Dude, holy
He
shit.
even said it. He said it in an interview. He's like, when they pull up to your house with a truckload of money.
Right.
Yeah, you can make a movie.
Yeah, you can make him up.
Yeah.
You can make a movie. Whatever. Here you go.
Yep.
Thanks for the money. The doors close. They swing open. There's just lines of cocaine everywhere, and they close back again. As a lifelong fan of Stephen King and The Dark Tower, I wanted to tell you about Katet19.net. Katet19 isn't just t-shirts with some cliched Pennywise screen print. This stuff is made with the aspiration to create not only great apparel inspired by Stephen King and The Dark Tower, but also a lifestyle brand and a sense of community. Katet19 is the go-to shop for die-hard constant readers of Stephen King, but also a great gift for that bibliophile in the family. These guys always deliver the very best quality products, and you can't beat these prices, the styles and designs. You gotta check them out. If you go on, use a coupon code ABSTRACTTRANSMISSIONS, and you'll get 15% off your next full order of $50 or over. Again, that's KA-TET19.net. Katet19.net for all your Stephen King and Dark Tower apparel needs. Check them out, guys. An unexpected hiatus for 5 seconds.
It wasn't a power outage this time, so it's a plus.
It was not a power outage this time. It was a power meltdown from my son upstairs.
We burnt our shit trying to get a space heater going.
Yeah, that's we're plugging in here and what are you talking about?
Yeah. Why can't I think of the not the socket, but extension cords and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
god, the melted ones.
This is
and,
the time of year they put those
people
warnings
keep
out.
Using them.
Yeah, I seen it.
And people just keep using them after.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh
Like,
well, it's just a little be deformed. It's fine. It'll be all
It's
right.
like,
It's like,
no.
nah, it's not gonna be all right.
Dude,
Looks like a melted Sunday. It'll be
your
fine.
your whole house might burn down, so there's that.
Yeah.
Crazy asshole. Speaking of crazy assholes, let's talk about everybody's favorite time of year. We may or may not get another recorded episode before the end of this shopping season, so we all want to remind you that you're all a bunch of assholes for going out there on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, don't go shopping. Don't fucking go shopping
Just
at
don't.
9 o'clock on
don't.
Thanksgiving night. Don't be that.
You got an
be
entire
that
fucking
person.
month, and really Cyber Monday will be just as good as fucking Black Friday. Stay at home and don't support your local retail.
My ass will be black on
Catalyze
Saturday
the
too,
robot
so
apocalypse.
I'm sure as hell not going out on Friday. Plus, I got no money, so nobody's getting anything. Listen, nobody's getting anything.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
That's right. You know why? Because it's all just consumerist holiday. Like I really only buy stuff for my kid because it's like it's my kid.
Yeah.
Like what we don't really. It's the time for giving. No, it's the time for consumerist waste.
It's
Is what
me and
it
my
is.
parents, and my parents are at the age that if they want something, they buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't.
And I'm
I'm
at the age where if I want something, I buy it.
Me too. Yeah. And I feel awkward receiving gifts.
That's it, yeah.
I do because I can't buy anybody anything. I'm the epitome of like a struggling artist, kind of. You know what I mean?
See, that's it.
I don't want
Like,
gifts.
we're-
It makes
we're
me feel
that-
so awkward.
That we're that generation. It's like it's Christmas. I'll buy myself a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yet I just why not? Why the fuck? Why? What? Cut out the middleman.
I go have a meal with my parents and hang out for a couple hours, and then I come back home.
Yeah.
It's a time for giving. No, it's a time to try to inflate the American dollar.
If you have to do anything, go to a shelter and rescue an animal. I adopted my dog 6 years ago. It's the best decision I ever made.
See, I think
yeah.
that's
That's
great. I think that's great. Coat drives, all that shit.
That's a cool doggy too.
That's
It
cool.
was actually it was the week before Thanksgiving 6 years ago.
Oh shit.
So me having him for 6 years just came up last week.
Oh man.
Yeah, week before Thanksgiving. When I found out I had all my issues and everything, I was kind of
like, fuck your 10-year
bummed.
challenge.
I'm just like, you know what? Fuck. So I adopted a dog, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
definitely helped get me through a lot of the bullshit that I was going through. So
Dude, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Bussy's the man.
I see
That's-
pictures. I never really
Ger's the man.
I feel like, see, I like dogs. The only reason we don't have one is because I feel like there's a certain amount of responsibility you have to have with
Oh,
a
definitely.
dog. And if you don't have that to give to a dog, then you shouldn't have a dog.
I
You should
agree.
have cats.
Yeah, I agree totally.
It's like, for me, I don't have the time and effort to put in to being all the time caretaker of another kid, basically, and that's what it is. It's
Yep.
just another kid that you're taking care of.
That's like me. I'll
you
never
know.
have a kid. I've got no interest in having kids. It's never going to happen. But I've got him to take
I was
care
gonna
of.
say,
He
you,
gets that energy.
You kind of do have a kid, though. You've got a little 4-year-old that never
Yeah.
grows up.
I'll never sire one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It's funny. I always use the analogy. It's like, that's fine. I have a kid, but my kid grows up. Your kid stays 4 forever. But that was also.
I always say, I'm like, well, when he's 18, he won't turn into an ungrateful little prick.
Yeah, that's true.
he'll always be glad to see me.
Appreciation 100%.
Exactly.
It's just like, you feed me. No, but animals, I think, have this connection to us that we have a responsibility to them, and I think that's dogs specifically,
Oh, yeah.
because of the amount of evolution that we've
Oh, yeah.
bestowed onto them. They didn't get a say. We just we're going to evolve you,
Yeah.
whether you like it or
I
not.
like some of the stuff of like wolves just
Through
kinda
selective
fighting
breeding.
the humans and just being like,
But your connection to
are
your
you hungry? Because I am. What can we fucking do? And
right. So
just slowly, and now we have the dogs that are like, they can't breathe.
Yeah, it's that meme. It's like thousands of years of evolution. It shows a wolf, and it shows like a pug, and it's like
I fucking love pugs,
100
dude.
years of medicine or something like that, and it's just like,
no,
Yeah.
no. That's what it brought us this.
Fucking dogs with sleep apnea.
I saw that a cartoon. It's the two wolves off to the side. They're watching these humans in the camp, and one says, "Oh, let's just go talk to them. What's the worst that could happen?" And it shows a dog like in a Santa hat and like a sweater. It's like, yeah, you've been domesticated and ruined.
That's the epitome of what we do to everything.
Ruin everything.
Yeah,
We fucking ruin everything. We did
slap a fucking something on it.
something about paradise and a parking lot, right? I mean, what the
Cards
fuck?
in the mail. Family get-togethers
Yeah.
with a dog. We'll definitely come. All right.
We'll be there. Yeah. See, we're on our way right now. 5 minutes from an hour from now. But the thing that I think that where I was going with. Oh boy. Yeah, was that your relationship with Gur, for example, is different than I think even some people have.
Oh, it definitely
You know
is.
what I mean? Like, there is that unique type of connection that's happening that is not happening
Well, I was
between even people now.
very ill when I adopted him.
Mm-hmm.
Very sick, and he could sense that. So even now, he takes care of me. Like, he doesn't, when we walk, he doesn't even like cars coming near us. He barks and freaks out because, I mean,
Yep. Yeah, they
The lawn crew.
they know.
Yeah, the lawn crew comes to mow the lawn in the winter, in the summer, and he goes to the window and barks at him. Then he'll come sit on my lap and puff out his chest like he's all proud of himself because he's protecting me.
Right.
You know, we had that
See
unspoken
what I
word.
did?
He had been astray,
Yeah.
so in my mind, I kind of said, "You're never going to be alone again. I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life." And in his mind, I was sick, so he thought, "I'm going to take care of this human for the rest of my life."
Right.
And that's kind of what we do.
Hell yeah.
So, and I think that's what the relationship with dogs and humans used to be.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't used to be the way it's turned into now, where we're like breeding them into these sleep apnea animals.
I don't even know if this.
Yeah, exactly.
seems like-
But no, there's poor guys that have major
All those
breathing
dogs,
issues.
all those dogs you see that have really short snouts,
They
they
have
can't
major-
breathe. Like a lot of them have to have surgery to clip inside the nose, the cartilage, so they
Yeah,
can breathe right.
so they can
That's
breathe.
not right. That
That's-
shouldn't.
that
just isn't a thing
that's
that should
because
be.
of us
Yeah.
selective breeding,
Exactly.
and
they're
organizing
suffering,
their
but they don't
genes.
know it because they were born with it.
Yeah, it's just not right. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't. A dog shouldn't be bred that can't run and breathe properly.
Yeah, it's
But they're so cute.
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck are they gonna evolve into next?
He's so
cute.
I'm
fucking
dying.
Just liquid. Are you in the fridge?
It-
Just
it-
open the fridge. It's like
It'll be like a Rick and Morty blob. Kill me.
fucking awful.
But it's not far off, unfortunately.
No, it's
Even
not
for our friends
because
out there
people
that
always have to get their
dogs
hands
like
into
this.
everything and change it.
I agree. That human beings need to correct it, even when it doesn't need to be corrected.
Yeah.
Like we just go and we fuck everything up. We're
Hey, you
just
know
like
what would be cool?
fiddlesticks with a bunch of papers, and they're all fucking shuffling
Yeah.
everywhere.
Hey, a Labrador Shih Tzu doodle would be great. It's like, no, it probably wouldn't. It's a mutt. That's what it is. It's a fucking mutt.
We need to ditch him. We need to ditch. No, not the dog. The guy who created the dog.
Yeah.
Ditch him. Leave him out in the woods somewhere he's got a road to walk back. He'll figure it out.
Right?
You know.
Come on, Shep. Just goes fucking
The guy's like,
like this shit from Creep Show 2.
okay.
The lake. Fucking, that's what it is. It's the dog ended up in the lake. And I'm getting sleepy.
Oh Jesus. You know, I do want to touch base on a few things before we leave today. The amount of people getting upset about something quickly on the internet. Oh boy, yeah. This is great. I want your perspective on this. What people just go right off the rails, right out of the gate. Like, I guess, like, I could be one of these people. I see some things that make me a little heated, but then I dig into it a little bit more to try to see what I can find before I start getting really, really upset. But people, oh my God, they get really angry really fast.
I'm telling you, man. If you want to gauge the way society is going, go to a news story about something fucked up that happened and read the comments.
Yeah.
And just see how bad people really are. Like, people, I say it and people give me shit for it a lot, but people are trash, man. There's just a lot of trash human beings out there right now, and because of the internet, they're just empowered to be trash and sit at home and be
trash,
horrible fucking people. Like,
right.
It's awful. I read a story this morning about some woman who sexually assaulted some 14-year-old boy over the course of a couple of years, and you know, at least 75% of the comments are, "Oh, where was she when I was 14?" Blah 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 blah. And it's like, my comment. Usually, I don't even comment, but my comment was, "There's a whole lot of utter trash in this comment section."
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, you know, because if that was a 14-year-old girl, everybody would be all up in arms, but it's a guy, so it's supposed to be all right. Well, it's not all right, because it's still somebody in their 20s or 30s screwing like a 14-year-old, so it's still, it's messed up.
Right.
But the mentality, and it was mostly guys that were saying it, is that it's okay. It's
Yeah,
like, well,
no,
no, it's not okay.
okay.
Like, that's just the way society is gone. It's just people are just can be such trash.
It is because they make their own, they put their own personal experiences and they connect those, and that's all they're connecting.
Yeah.
But they don't know what it's like to, like, even when I was a younger kid, like I, went in a bunch of different relationships, kind of unhealthy, all to kind of try to get that feeling of worth
Oh yeah.
from another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what drives a lot of people.
And
Yeah.
it's like, and I know that happens a lot with women and stuff, but it's never thought that that men would do the same thing. Like, I mean, the
People
same
just
circumstance.
because it's the whole. It's almost the toxic masculinity thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, the kid knew what he was doing. He's fine. It's like, well, maybe he knew what he was doing, but it's still not
fine.
okay. It's not
Right.
fine. Like,
It's fine. And it's not okay to just like kind of treat because it's a male child that it's somehow acceptable
Yeah.
all of a sudden like
yeah, let's
I was
high
like,
five
oh,
him. It's
dude,
fine.
I wish
Yeah.
yeah, you know
Fucking
what, when I
ridiculous.
was 16 I probably wanted to bang the 25-year-old teacher too, but it
Yeah.
doesn't make it fucking okay.
Oh, I certainly did. There's certainly but
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it does
It's a
make it
scary
okay on her
thing.
perspective. Like that's she's in a position of power, and she shouldn't be doing that at all. Morally, it's wrong, and fundamentally, it's wrong. And yeah, you can say what you want, be like, "Oh, the kid's just a pussy." Blah, blah, blah.
They're just very formative at that
I
age.
bet there's a
like,
fucking MAGA 2020 hashtag somewhere in there. Fuck off, dude. Like, I get what you're saying, and everything is so like, we gotta just stop treating our men like
You're
pussies.
like 13 or 14-year-old dude, and like,
No.
you've had experience with maybe a girlfriend, maybe not, and all of a sudden, maybe that's your first relationship is like this, attractive 25-year-old. Oh no, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. I love you.
It's literally
Yeah.
the
Just
Pamela
screwing
Smart
with your-
situation.
Yeah, there's
from
future
back
serial
when-
killer
There's
right
enough
there.
problems with girls our
Dude.
age and vice versa. Same thing.
I know I'm pulling this out of the
former ages.
90s, but Pamela Smart. Remember, that was a
exactly.
New
Yeah.
Hampshire thing, right?
Yep.
Where
Yeah.
this woman had full control over this young guy and got him to fucking kill her husband.
Yep.
Yep.
Because she had control over their fucking voodoo vagina death magic.
That was in fucking Seabrook, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, like, that was in Seabrook.
Bob.
Bob.
Boy.
Hey, boy, what? You ever seen it match that? Boy, what? Wow.
Oh, I got some killer clams here, Bob.
There it is,
Bob.
Bob.
Fucking clamming and rubber boots. Fuck no.
Ridgedale's is right down the street. Oh, okay, that's enough Seabrook, New Hampshire. But seriously, you're trash. Anyway, on to...
Hey, I lived there for like 9
Hey,
years.
I lived in Rochester and Lafayette Street for a little while, too. There's a little shout out to you guys, too. People are like, wow! We're like, no, no, you ruined my life. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all wild.
We were talking about people being trash, right?
Yeah, you started out talking about people getting obscenely lit over stuff online.
Oh yeah, and then we went on a tangent.
Just like,
People go from 0 to 300 without thinking there might be some sort of logic. And I feel like the comment section, that's kind of where we ended up, is a great litmus test to where things are, like you were saying.
Yeah, definitely.
That really allows us to dip our toe into the stream, so to speak.
Yeah,
Which is kind of fucked up because things are not great.
things aren't great at all.
No, people are a big mess. And I think that the thing that we want to take from that, though, is that we can be better, right?
You have to choose to be better, though.
We can, right,
You
right.
have to, yeah.
But that's it. We can be better. We have to choose to be better, but we can be. We have that potential to be better.
Oh yeah.
And whether we're going to choose to do it or how we do it and any of that stuff is, but the fact that there is the potential to be there, to do it, to change the course of action now. And I don't mean this like all of a sudden we're going to change, these, rah, nationalists into believing, liberal perspectives, or same vice versa. Like, I don't think we're going to get people on both sides of the spectrum to kind of meet in the middle, but I do think that we can find common grounds between everyone. All you gotta do is spend 20 minutes with that person in a room and actually not have the stress of politics or any of those things. You find more common ground with somebody than differences most of the time.
Politics brings out the ugly in just about everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's an app where you can. I'm pretty sure they have the technology to do this. Just like a blood pressure monitor, like right next to your, like right in the corner. And you're on Facebook, and it just and then like goes fucking 180,
yeah,
120.
yeah, right.
I was like, whoa, I gotta put this fucking phone down.
I know a lot of the watches do it.
Yeah, they should have it like
They,
as a
they indicate.
thing on your phone.
This
that
does
zaps
it.
You.
This does it. If I hold right here, it'll tell me what mine is.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
You get the flash. It uses like a pulse, flash pulse, and
I just have
it
that
measures
thing up
the thing. It's very very beneficial. The technology that we carry around in our pockets, we take it for granted. Not all of us, but most of us.
Like converged with Facebook.
I read the other day
my
somebody
kid's not
actually
gonna
somebody
ever
actually
appreciate
typed "take it for granted" yesterday. Take it for granted. You know their strength it took to not say anything.
I'd rather take it for quartz.
Oh my fucking god!
There's just
I take screenshots of that stuff and I send it to my friend over the course of the day. I'm just like, oh my god, look at this.
we aren't on YouTube, so I don't have the ability to get the shocked look on my face right now. But it's shocked.
Granted.
I'd
Granted.
rather take it for bismuth.
Take it for the New Hampshire state.
Well, on that note, there's a special type of ignorance that exists only here in New England. I'm just kidding. It's most of the South. But the point is if you spend enough time fucking your cousins, you will produce a special type of creature similar to the pug dog.
Then you could take it for granted.
But in human form.
And not just a couch with the spray painted sign that says cousin on it.
But one that might birth Danny DeVito's naked body, if you've seen that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you haven't...
The Trash Man.
Yeah.
On the trash.
He comes out of that goddamn
So anyway, I
couch.
started blasting.
Yeah.
I love that show. Holy shit.
It is just great. Frank is such a terrible human being. No, it was the Christmas episode. That's what it was. It's the one where he has the coon talk in... Dennis is also a terrible person. Let's just talk about how all of those
They're
people
all
are
terrible
They're
people.
all fucking
Charlie's almost too dumb to be a terrible person.
He's the only one that's really not terrible.
Yeah.
He means well, but
He's just
he's just an idiot. He's just poor fucking idiot.
all the stuff with him and the waitress kills me.
Yeah, because then he starts to borderline where it becomes unhealthy, and that's where the thing is that makes him like, no, okay, well, then you're kind of a bad person.
Yeah.
You start to borderline where it becomes innocent and turn you. He's such a good character study, actually. I really do think about his character as much as like the next, because he really is a complex character if you think about it. You break him down, like if you really break down the fact that just stuff when he was a kid and
Charlie Jobs.
No, the whole thing with Santa's banging his mom. Oh, God. Poor Charlie. Well, we're gonna leave this episode in a very special Christmas image of Charlie's mom getting banged by Santas. You folks have a nice, whatever the fuck it is that you celebrate. Consumerism is happening on Friday.
Get your wallets out.
So yeah, when we talk about consumerism, we just want to remind you it's not okay to trample another human being for a fucking Furby.
Yeah, fucking just.
And don't treat your retail workers like trash, because they don't want to be there.
Seriously.
Sure.
for less money than it'll ever be worth than to deal with your dumb fucking ass. Ever.
Go online and spend your money.
Well, and also pretty soon they're just gonna be replaced by robots anyway. And if you don't believe me, replaced by robots.info. Check it out. See if your job's gonna be replaced by robots.info.
No more buying mannequins.
Um,
I had to say shit.
no more buying mannequins. Why are you buying mannequins, dude? Dude, bruh.
Don't.
We do appreciate all of the listeners out there. I want to remind you that spreading the word about pirate radio not only benefits you and the ability to subvert power from your local authorities and local media back into your hands, but it also gives you the ability to just pick up a microphone and make your own freaking podcast. Everybody should be doing these things. We need to continue talking to each other and not at each other. So remember that next time you fire something off into an angry comment on Facebook, it's not just what you're saying, it's how you say it and whether you really mean it and whether you'd say it to somebody in their face in person. So
Be organic.
it's gonna be organic. That's what she said.
Organic.
On that note, we want to thank our guest Randy for coming on again. Thank
Absolutely,
you.
man. It was
We're
awesome.
gonna have you on again.
It's fun.
And, it was a great time. And as things move on, we'll probably have more and more episodes like this. So we thank you again, and thank you listeners out there. And if you get a chance, check out our Patreon. And as always, abstract here, abstract there. Have a great holiday season.
Good.